Hi folks, welcome back to Math with Captain Rod. I'm making this video here to provide a couple more examples of how to solve quadratic equations by factoring. So I've got a couple of them here we're going to take a look at. This 6x squared plus x minus 2 equals 0. So the idea behind factoring is we're going to try to factor this thing down into a pair of binomials. A couple methods to do that. I tend to use kind of the trial by error method. And it's important to understand the FOIL process, right, which stands for first, outer, inner, last. That's how you multiply binomials. So when you're factoring, basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to undo this. So when you factor, the first thing you do is we take a look at here, right? So 6x squared. Possible terms that'll give us a 6x squared are possibly 6x and x. In fact, let me write these over here. 6x and x, or maybe 3x and 2x. And what you do is just kind of give them a try. I'm going to start with the 6x and the 1x. And then you look here. Factors of 2, basically 2 and 1. Now, which one goes where? You just typically take a guess at it. And then this is negative, so we might do something like this, because this product has to give us negative 2. Now I'm just going to see if this works. And really what you got to check at this point is your outer and inner terms. 12x and minus x, that's nowhere even close to this. So we say, well, maybe we screwed something up here. So maybe we're going to try maybe plus and minus. And minus 12x plus this, that doesn't work either. All right. So then maybe we say, maybe we put the 2 and the 1s in the wrong spot. And we try this, right? Minus 12x, x, that doesn't work. And then we try the minus and a plus. And again, 12x minus x, that doesn't work either. So at this point, we've tried all possible combinations with the 6x and the x. So we abandoned that. And we take a look at our other combination here. And then again, we're looking at our negative 2 here. So products are 2 and 1, so we might try negative 2 and plus 1, because remember, it has to multiply to negative 2. And again, when you do this, the first term is pretty well guaranteed to work. So you just have to check your outer and inner terms. 3x minus 4x, that's minus x. Now, it doesn't work, but it's close. So then maybe we try this. And now we get 3x, I'm sorry, minus 3x plus 4x. There's our plus x, and then minus 2. So this is a correct factorization. Now you might say, is it always that much work? Well, I kind of deliberately avoided the one I suspected. When you see something small in the middle, that's kind of your clue that the 3 and the 2 are probably more likely than the 6 and the 1. But so no, it's not always that much work. And sometimes it's more work. Anyway, moving on, we've got this correctly factored now. And now we have the product of two things equals 0. So we go ahead and try this. Maybe 3x plus 2 equals 0. Or 2x minus 1 equals 0. And then you have to solve these equations by themselves. Subtracting 2 from both sides, dividing by 3. There's one of our solutions right there. X equals minus 2/3. Okay, over here, adding 1 to both sides, dividing by 1/2. There's our other solution. So our solution now is the set containing minus 2/3, 1/2. Take a look at this one here. And now we've got to factor this bugger here. Oh, well, that kind of stinks. Let's try 9x and 1x, right? For our first term, that gives us 9x squared. Okay, these factors are 25. 25 and 1, 5 and 5, and I'm not thinking of any others. Now, some things to note here. Let's just try this one. Now, things to note, everything is positive here. There's no minus sign here or in the middle. So 9x squared, now this gives me plus 45x. Plus 5 more, that's plus 50x. No good. So we try the, let's see if we put the 25 and the 1. Right, now that's going to give us 9x and 25x. That's also no good. So then we try the 25x and the x. Also no good here because, this is like 180, 190. That's like, roughly 200x here plus another one, nowhere near the 30x. Okay, so what does that mean? We're going to abandon now the 9 and the 1. And we're going to try 3x and 3x for our first terms. And let's try the plus 5 and the plus 5. And our first term works as it always should at this step. Outer term plus 15x, inner term plus 15x, there's our plus 30x, and plus 25. So there is our correct factorization. Okay, so now we take a look at this and say, well, maybe 3x plus 5 is equal to 0. In which case 3x would equal minus 5, and x is going to be minus 5/3. Now here, if we set this equal to 0, we're just going to get the same solution. And so that really isn't another solution. So our solution set in this example is just the minus 5/2. And that's it. So the toughest thing about this is the factoring typically, especially when it gets worse and worse and worse. And what I always recommend algebra students to always be able to at least fall back on the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula always works even when you have complex solutions, or imaginary solutions, I should say. And you always will get an answer out of it, provided you do it correctly. A is 9, B is 30, C is 25, and just wash it through the quadratic formula. But again, the intention of this video is how to solve by factoring. Hopefully this is giving you a little bit better idea how to do that. Have a great day.